Good evening, everybody. Appreciate you joining me tonight. I just want to start off by saying this is very personal to me. I've had problems with this issue that I'm getting ready to discuss about, but I like to think that I've now conquered it. I'm no longer participating in it. But let's begin. I know a lot of you people know people who smoke or use pouches or smoke with tobacco, things of that nature. Anything that contains nicotine is very popular, has been for years, centuries. It goes as far back as Native Americans and using peace pipes and just tobacco plants to the 50s and 60s when cigarettes were at its height of popularity, where 45% of Americans smoked, until now, where we have things like nicotine pouches, vapes, patches, things of that nature. Nicotine is one of the most addictive chemicals ever created. I know that's a pretty well-known fact. While it is addictive, some people think that it can be beneficial, so they use it recreationally. But nicotine is very dangerous. It can cause a myriad of health effects. It's been studied many times over, yet nicotine is still popular in various forms. And today, I just want to kind of inform you guys of nicotine's effects, how it works in the body, how it produces the effects it does, why some people feel that it's beneficial, and ultimately the important aspects of nicotine is the negative side effects and the overall negative effect it has on your health. So first, let's begin by understanding how nicotine works in your body. Nicotine is a stimulant. It's found naturally in tobacco plants. Like I said, it's presented in many different forms. It's in cigarettes, smokeless tobacco, nicotine pouches, vape pens, on and on and on. Always been popular. Not as popular as cigarette form as it used to be when that was like the main thing back 40s and 50s. But now it comes in so many forms. It comes in like fruity flavors and the nicotine pouches and the vape pens, which is very popular with teens. So it's definitely still an ongoing issue. But once you start using nicotine in any form, enters your bloodstream, releases dopamine. Dopamine is the reward chemical in your brain. Makes you feel good. If you complete a project, or if you win a lottery ticket, or if you're in a casino, that feeling when you actually win something, that's that dopamine. So when you use nicotine, it releases that chemical, it acts upon those receptors, and that's that rush, that euphoria feeling, and that's one of the most addictive feelings, and that's why nicotine is so popular. Nicotine also can increase your adrenaline, which also aids in focus, energy. It's almost like caffeine. But unfortunately, these effects, the positive effects, are not long-term, and they can be misleading. So these positive effects that I want to touch on it might actually be true that these effects do occur, but in the long term, it actually ends up having the opposite effect and causes more harm than good. Positive effects: increase energy, increase focus. It can help with learning tasks, things like that. And that's became niche, or not niche. it's became the popular use of nicotine recently, is for its quote unquote beneficial effects, but studies have shown they don't last and they actually mask the problem, and they can actually have the opposite effect over long-term use. As far as negative effects, we all know what negative effects are: cardiovascular issues, lung cancer, reproductive issues, linked to diabetes. The highest risk for stroke and heart attack is caused by nicotine and tobacco products. So overall, nicotine might be beneficial short term, but the long term effects is not worth the short term benefits, and actually the short term benefits can turn into negative effects over long term use. So overall, you should just avoid nicotine altogether. Thank you, guys.